Well, this is too direct D. I'm not a loser, you're just projecting. You need to watch El Piro, P-E-R-O, or Keith Little. He's got another channel, I forgot what it's called. But it's in his, description. You got to learn the U.S. codes. This guy, he learned the U.S. codes. The United States government is a corporation under 28 U.S. Code 3002 definition of United States. Federal corporation. It's not a government. You're the loser. You're the one that don't know, the truth. You don't listen to these court case opinions. They're not laws. That dude knew what he was talking about. He went to prison for 6 years because he made a threat that he will be getting in a gunfight. He wasn't threatening to kill him. He was threatening to defend himself with a gunfight. His property and his rights and himself from our enemies. The cops, they're our enemies. The judges, they're our enemies. You don't listen to them. You read their U.S. codes. I would have it, but you got to look up Commercial Motor Vehicle Code. Look it up. It's everything about commercial businesses and their vehicles. Commercialized vehicles. They have to have plates. Those vehicles have to have plates, registration, insurance, and whatever else. And whoever's hired to drive those commercialized motor vehicles has to have a driver license to drive a company vehicle, commercial company vehicle, motor vehicle. Those are motor vehicles. When you go to an auto dealer, it doesn't say motor vehicle dealer. It says auto dealer because they're automobiles first. And then when that auto company, you buy a vehicle, you purchase a vehicle, well, they have information they send to the state that goes along with your all caps name. They all connect each other together to enslave us outside of what we are supposed to be, our vehicles are supposed to be called, and all that. They claim to label our property and us what they want outside of our consent. They don't have our consent to label us what they want so they could be able to do what they want to us. If when you get pulled over, you're no longer seen as a civilian. You're no longer seen as a citizen. You're no longer seen as a member of the public. Look up. How are the citizens, the U.S. citizens, the civilians, and the members of the public are to be treated by the law enforcement? And then you look up how subjects are treated. So when they pull you aside and separate you from everybody else, the citizens, the civilians, and the members of the public, they turn you into a subject. You're no longer to be treated as a citizen, civilian, or member of the public. You're different. You need to learn all this stuff before you start going and blabbing your mouth that we don't know what we're talking about. You need to do your research. You are ignorant of the truth of the laws. They're U.S. codes, statutory law, civil law. Look up the difference, or just look up civil law versus statutory law. Can you do that? Can you be a good man instead of putting me down, calling me names, saying I'm a loser because you're just ignorant and don't know what you're talking about? Court case opinions are not laws. That you don't go by those. You go by their U.S. codes and their statutory laws. It's supposed to coincide with their U.S. codes and the Constitution. The Fourth Amendment, to be secure in our property, that vehicle's your property. It's private. You're to be secure in it. They can't come to you and say, you got to have this, you got to have that, you can't drive it, you can't use it however you want, you're not free. Until you fight for freedom, you're just like all these other lemmings out there, these voters. You're just like all of them. You back and push stuff that is unconstitutional. The Fourth Amendment gives us the right to take our property out on these roads and highways we pay for with our money freely. You pay for the road. When you went to work and paid taxes, if you still pay taxes, you pay for those roads. So you pay to get to use them. And they're using UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. If your vehicle is a commercial motor vehicle, why ain't you wearing a uniform every time you get in that vehicle? Why ain't you got a little log book where you log in your hours and your miles and all that? If you're driving a commercial vehicle, if you're operating a commercial vehicle, if you're operating in a business where you have a business license, so you got a commercial business, I need a vehicle to deliver stuff from my business to somebody else, and I'll be making money on the delivery charges. Well, that's a commercial motor vehicle for that commercial business. All businesses are commercial businesses. Ain't none of them private. They all have a business license. They're all commercial business. And that driver license, it's a business license. That's why they need that. So when they get that, they say, oh, all caps name, you're a business. So I can do business with you, write you a ticket, and make the courts, the prosecutors, the judges, the lawyers, more money, and the jails when they put you in jail. Every person that goes into jail that day, probably more. I'll say $500 to $1,000 per person that is entered into the jail, booked in. Each person. This is a money racket. It's a scam. We're their cash cattle. That's the only way they can make money, is to place us under statutory law and have people like you back it. So you need to quit being ignorant and do your fucking research. So you all take care. You take care, DirectD, because this is why I unsubbed from you a while back, last year. Because you're ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about, and you make fun of people without doing your research. I do my research. I went to others that did their research and actually sat down and read through the U.S. codes for years. And went through all their other statutory laws, Code of Federal Regulations called CFR. You don't know none of this stuff. You don't know what you're talking about, and you're to back off and be a good man rather than a piece of shit, in my opinion. So you take care, DirectD. And everybody else, you take care too. Bye.